One peaceful morning on Earth, people went about their daily lives, unaware of the danger that was about to arrive. In the sky, a dark shadow appeared. It was a massive alien fleet, floating silently above the cities. The fleet looked like a storm cloud, but it was not made of rain. It was made of huge ships from another world. On board the lead ship, the alien commanders watched Earth through their screens. They were confident and ready for war. They thought Earth was just a small, weak planet with fragile creatures. The head commander, Zarnak, sneered as he pointed to the planet below. "Prepare for the invasion. These humans will not stand a chance against our power." Meanwhile, on Earth, the news of the alien fleet spread quickly. People looked up, their faces filled with fear and confusion. The military sprang into action, calling all soldiers to defend their homes. Generals shouted orders, and soldiers grabbed their weapons. Everyone was ready to fight for their planet, but they had no idea what they were up against. As the alien ships descended closer, the atmosphere grew tense. Humans stared in awe and terror. Suddenly, bright lights burst from the alien ships, firing strange beams toward the ground. But as the beams struck, something unexpected happened. The aliens started to struggle with their own technology, and confusion filled the air. Little did they know, gravity had a surprise in store for them. As the alien fleet loomed closer to Earth, the atmosphere was charged with anxiety and anticipation. The humans watched, hoping for a miracle while preparing for the worst. But something strange began to unfold. As the alien ships activated their weapons, they quickly realized that Earth's gravity was unlike anything they had encountered before. The lead ship, controlled by Commander Zarnak, suddenly shook violently. "What is happening?" he shouted, gripping the control panel as the ship swayed. The heavy metal hull groaned under the pressure of Earth's pull. The aliens had calculated their invasion plans based on their own home planet's gravity, which was much lighter. They had not prepared for the intensity of Earth's gravitational force. Back on Earth, the military observed the chaos in the sky through their powerful telescopes. Soldiers exchanged nervous glances, realizing that their enemies were struggling. "Look!" one soldier yelled, pointing at the screen. "They can't control their ships." As the alien fleet descended, some ships began to tilt awkwardly, losing their balance. The technology they relied on was malfunctioning. Laser beams fired wildly, missing their targets and hitting the ship next to them. Explosions lit up the sky, and the sounds of metal clashing echoed for miles. In the chaos, Zarnak's ship spiraled out of control. "We must retreat," he ordered, panic rising in his voice. But it was too late. Other ships were colliding with each other, creating a chain reaction of destruction. As they struggled against the pull of gravity, they realized Earth was not the weak planet they had thought it to be. Meanwhile, on the ground, humanity started to regain their confidence. "We can win this," shouted a general, rallying his troops. The soldiers cheered, feeling inspired by the aliens' misfortune. With every crash and explosion in the sky, the humans understood that gravity was on their side. As Zarnak's ship lost altitude, he made one last desperate attempt to regain control. "Prepare for emergency landing procedures," he yelled, but the ship was too heavy, and as it finally touched down, it skidded and crashed, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The aliens who survived the landing stumbled out of their damaged ships, disoriented and confused. They were met not with the terrified humans they expected, but with an organized military force ready to defend their planet. The aliens' confidence had crumbled along with their fleet, and they realized that Earth was far more formidable than they had ever imagined. As the dust settled, humanity prepared for a showdown, knowing they had a unique advantage. Gravity had saved them, and they were ready to fight back against the invaders. This was just the beginning of a conflict that would change the fate of both worlds forever. As the alien fleet struggled to land, a sense of urgency filled the air on Earth. The military was fully prepared, and the soldiers were waiting for the aliens to emerge from their damaged ships. The general gave a loud command, "Get ready. We don't know what these aliens will do next." The atmosphere was tense, and everyone felt the weight of the moment. When the first alien emerged, it was clear that they were not like anything the humans had seen before. The alien was tall, with green skin and strange, bright eyes that seemed to scan the surroundings. It wore a suit of advanced armor that shimmered in the sunlight. The alien stepped out cautiously, looking around in confusion. Other aliens followed, each looking equally lost and frightened. They had come to conquer, but now they were faced with a world that had turned against them. A brave soldier, Private Alex, stepped forward. He raised his weapon but did not fire. Instead, he called out to the aliens, "We don't want to fight. You chose to invade our home. We will defend ourselves if we must, but we can talk." His voice was steady, even though his heart raced. Zarnak, the alien commander who had crash-landed, looked at Alex with a mixture of anger and confusion. "Talk? You think we want to talk?" he yelled. The other aliens around him began to recover from their shock, and they huddled together, whispering amongst themselves. Suddenly, Zarnak raised his weapon, pointing it at Alex. "You humans are weak. You will all be crushed." He sounded furious, but Alex stood his ground, knowing that this moment could change everything. The other soldiers moved closer, ready to support their comrade. But just then, the ground shook as more alien ships crashed around them, sending clouds of dust into the air. The humans watched in astonishment as the aliens' advanced technology failed them. The aliens were clearly outmatched by Earth's gravity, and their weapons had become unreliable. Private Alex seized the moment. "You don't have to fight," he shouted again. "You're not invincible. Your ships are falling from the sky. This is your chance to reconsider." He hoped his words would reach Zarnak and the others. Zarnak hesitated, lowering his weapon slightly. The other aliens looked at him, unsure of what to do. They had come to Earth with confidence, but now they faced the reality of their situation. The humans were not retreating. They were standing firm. At that moment, an alien soldier shouted, "Commander, we can't win this. We need to regroup." Zarnak looked at his fellow aliens, realizing they were no longer the strong invaders they once thought they were. The fear in their eyes mirrored the uncertainty in his heart. Suddenly, the human general stepped forward. "If you surrender, we can help you," he said, his voice calm but firm. "We don't want more destruction. Let's find a way to avoid further conflict." Zarnak's expression shifted from anger to contemplation. He could see that the humans were determined, but he also noticed a glimmer of hope in their offer. After a tense silence, he finally lowered his weapon fully. "What do you suggest?" he asked, his tone changing. The humans exchanged glances, surprised by Zarnak's change of heart. "Let's talk," the general replied, relieved. "We can learn from each other instead of fighting. You came to invade, but we can help you understand our world better." Zarnak looked around at his team. They were bruised, tired, and shaken. Their initial confidence was gone, replaced by doubt and fear. "Very well," he said slowly. "We will listen. But know this, if you betray us, we will fight." The general nodded, recognizing the seriousness of the moment. The two groups, once enemies, stood on the edge of a new beginning. They could either choose to fight or work together to understand one another. As they moved closer together, both humans and aliens realized that this encounter was about more than just conflict. It was about survival, learning, and perhaps forming a bond that could change the fate of their worlds forever. The battle had transformed into a negotiation, and everyone knew this was just the start of a much larger story. "You said," with Zarnak and the human general standing face to face, a tense silence filled the air. Both sides had faced fear and uncertainty, but now they faced the possibility of cooperation. The alien commander took a deep breath, trying to steady his racing heart. "We are not here to destroy your planet," he finally said. Our leaders wanted resources. We were told your world was weak and easy to conquer. The human general raised an eyebrow. You were misinformed. Earth is not weak. We fight to protect what is ours. But there is much you can learn from us, just as we can learn from you. Zarnak nodded, realizing that his perceptions had been skewed. He motioned to his fellow aliens, who stood nervously behind him. We came here to conquer, but now it seems we must rethink our approach. The general gestured to his soldiers, signaling them to lower their weapons. Let's not make this a fight. We can show you our technology and how we survive in this environment. You'll see that Earth is more than what you were told. With the tension easing, both sides gathered in a circle. The humans explained their defenses, how they built their weapons, and how they thrived despite the harshness of life on Earth. They shared stories of their own struggles, emphasizing their resilience in the face of challenges. Zarnak listened intently. You say you fight for your planet, but what do you gain from it? He asked, his curiosity piqued. A sense of belonging and unity, replied the general. Our strength comes from our people working together. We protect each other and our way of life. This concept of unity resonated with Zarnak. He looked at his own soldiers, who had once been filled with confidence. They were now listening closely, absorbing the lessons being shared. In turn, Zarnak explained the alien society, describing how their home planet was rich in resources but faced grave dangers. We were told that your people were weak, but I see strength in you now, he admitted. Perhaps there is a different path forward. The general smiled. Exactly. Instead of fighting, we can learn from each other. We can share our technologies, knowledge, and even resources. As the discussion continued, Zarnak suggested an idea. If we work together, we could establish a trade agreement. Our resources and your technology could benefit both of our worlds. The general thought for a moment. That could work, but trust needs to be built. How do we know that your people will not attack again? Zarnak replied earnestly, You have my word. We will return to our leaders and explain what has happened here. They must understand that Earth is not an easy target. At that moment, an alien soldier interrupted. Commander, our ships are damaged. We cannot return without assistance. The fear was evident in his voice. The general glanced at his soldiers and made a quick decision. We will help you repair your ships. It's the least we can do after this encounter. Surprise washed over the alien faces. You would do this for us? Zarnak asked, astonished. Of course, the general replied. We are all beings in this universe. Helping each other is the first step toward peace. The atmosphere shifted from hostility to cooperation. The humans and aliens began working side by side, assessing the damage to the alien ships. They discovered that Earth's materials could help with repairs. As they worked, conversations flowed more easily. Aliens and humans shared laughter, stories, and even small snacks from their worlds. The lines between them began to blur as friendships started to form. Zarnak observed his soldiers relaxing, laughing, and interacting with the humans. This is what we needed all along, he thought. He had come to conquer, but now he was witnessing the power of unity. After several hours of labor, the alien ships were nearly ready to leave. Zarnak gathered his troops and the humans. Thank you for your help. You have shown us a different way, he said. The human general nodded. And thank you for choosing peace. Together, we can build a future that benefits both our worlds. As the aliens boarded their ships, there was a newfound respect between the two groups. They had faced a crisis together and chosen understanding over conflict. The general watched as the alien fleet prepared for takeoff, knowing that this was just the beginning of a long journey. He turned to his soldiers, who were equally amazed. This is how we grow. We learn, adapt, and form bonds with those we once considered enemies. With the alien ships disappearing into the sky, a sense of hope lingered in the air. The Earth had faced invasion, but emerged with an unexpected ally. The future looked bright, and the lessons learned today would shape the course of both their civilizations for years to come. In the days that followed, the atmosphere on Earth changed. News of the unexpected alliance spread quickly, sparking a wave of curiosity and excitement among the population. People gathered around screens, watching videos of the alien ships soaring through the skies. Many were eager to learn more about their new friends from the stars. The government decided to hold a press conference. The general stood at the podium, flanked by scientists and diplomats. "Today marks a new chapter for humanity," he declared. "We have not only defended our planet, but have also chosen to embrace cooperation with the alien visitors." The audience erupted in cheers. Questions flew from reporters about the aliens' technology, their culture, and what this new partnership could mean. The general explained, "We are planning joint training programs, knowledge exchanges, and even cultural festivals. We can learn from each other's strengths." Meanwhile, in the alien camp, Zarnuk and his fellow commanders were busy discussing the events of their visit to Earth. They had returned to their home planet, filled with thoughts of cooperation and understanding. Zarnuk gathered his fellow leaders, sharing what he had learned from the humans. "They are not the weak beings we were led to believe. Their resilience and unity are remarkable," he said passionately. The other commanders listened intently. "So you think we should continue to engage with them?" one asked, skepticism evident in his tone. "Absolutely," Zarnuk replied firmly. "They have offered us a chance to build a friendship, and we should not squander it. Together, we could achieve great things." As discussions continued, Zarnuk proposed sending a delegation back to Earth. "We should show them that we are committed to this partnership. We can exchange resources, technology, and even cultural insights. This could lead to prosperity for both our species," he urged. Back on Earth, preparations for the aliens' return were underway. Scientists were busy developing technology to help facilitate communication and travel between the two worlds. The general organized meetings to strategize the next steps, ensuring the safety and smooth integration of the aliens. The day finally arrived when the alien delegation landed on Earth once again. This time, the atmosphere was filled with excitement rather than fear. Humans and aliens worked side by side to welcome their guests. Banners decorated the streets, and everyone was eager to see what this new partnership could bring. Zarnuk stepped out of the ship, greeted by the same human general who had welcomed him before. "Welcome back," the general said, his face beaming with enthusiasm. "We've been waiting for you." Zarnuk felt a surge of pride. This was a different Earth than the one he had first encountered. It was vibrant, alive with hope, and eager for change. "We bring gifts from our planet," Zarnuk announced, revealing samples of their advanced technology and resources. The humans gasped in amazement as the aliens displayed their impressive capabilities. Zarnuk explained how their technology could enhance Earth's energy systems and improve agricultural practices. As they worked together, both species began to share not only knowledge but also aspects of their cultures. Humans invited the aliens to taste their favorite foods, while the aliens introduced their unique art forms and music. Zarnuk found himself enchanted by human creativity. One day, he watched a group of children painting vibrant murals, and he realized that creativity was a strength that both species shared. "We should host a cultural festival," he suggested to the general. "A celebration of our differences and similarities." The general agreed, and plans were quickly put in motion. The festival would include games, music, and displays of art from both civilizations. As the date approached, excitement grew on both sides. People from Earth wanted to meet the aliens and learn about their lives, while the aliens were eager to explore human culture. On the day of the festival, the atmosphere was electric. Humans and aliens mingled freely, enjoying the festivities. Zarnuk and the general stood together, watching the joyful chaos unfold. "This is what peace looks like," Zarnuk said with a smile. The general nodded. "Indeed, we have created a bridge between our worlds. Together, we are stronger." As the sun set, The festival lights illuminated the sky, symbolizing hope for a future filled with understanding and cooperation. The bond between Earth and Zarnak's people had blossomed from fear into friendship, showcasing the power of unity in a universe filled with diversity. From that day forward, humans and aliens would stand together, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, proving that peace is always the better path. The lessons learned would guide their journey, and together they would explore the cosmos, hand in hand, as allies and friends. As the festival concluded, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and optimism. Humans and aliens had come together, sharing stories, laughter, and newfound respect for each other. But as the sun set on their joyous celebration, another challenge loomed on the horizon. Zarnak and the general gathered a team of scientists and military leaders to discuss the future. They knew that their partnership was still in its early stages and that the galaxy held unknown threats. Zarnak spoke first. While we have celebrated our unity, we must also prepare for the dangers that may come from those who do not wish for our alliance to succeed. The general nodded in agreement. We have made enemies in the past. There are alien factions that may see our alliance as a threat. We need to be ready to defend ourselves and our newfound partnership. The team discussed various strategies to bolster their defenses and share knowledge about potential threats. Zarnak shared intelligence about hostile factions they had encountered during their travels. These factions may see us as weak due to our different ways, but together we are formidable, he emphasized. The scientists began to outline ways to enhance their military capabilities. They proposed joint training exercises, where alien and human forces could learn from each other's tactics. They also suggested developing advanced weaponry, integrating human ingenuity with alien technology to create powerful defenses. The general assigned a special task force to focus on this mission. They began building a training facility on Earth, where both species could practice together. This will be our first step in preparing for the unknown, he declared. We must learn to work as one cohesive unit. Meanwhile, Zarnak took on the responsibility of organizing the alien military's participation. He understood that his people were not accustomed to human training methods, and vice versa. Zarnak proposed an exchange program, allowing humans to train alongside the aliens on their home planet, and vice versa. This way, we will foster trust and understanding between our soldiers, he explained to the assembled team. As preparations continued, both sides grew eager. Soldiers from Earth looked forward to experiencing the challenges of Zarnak's world, while aliens were excited to see human training techniques in action. The general reassured everyone, this will not only make us stronger but will deepen our bond. In the following weeks, the training facility was completed. It was a grand structure, equipped with advanced technology and spaces designed for various training exercises. The first group of alien soldiers arrived to participate, and their presence sparked a mixture of excitement and anxiety among the human troops. The first day of joint training began with a welcome ceremony. Both sides stood in formation, eyeing each other with curiosity and determination. Zarnak addressed the assembled soldiers. Today marks the beginning of our shared journey. We will learn from each other, not only as warriors but as allies. The general then spoke. We are stronger together. Let us show our enemies that we are prepared to protect what we have built. The training kicked off with basic exercises designed to familiarize everyone with each other's combat styles. Humans demonstrated their agility and teamwork, while aliens showcased their strength and advanced technology. At first, there were awkward moments, as misunderstandings arose. An alien soldier accidentally knocked over a human during a drill, and laughter erupted instead of frustration. Looks like we need to work on our coordination, a human soldier joked, helping the alien to his feet. This lightheartedness broke the ice, leading to camaraderie among the troops. As days turned into weeks, the training sessions evolved. Soldiers began to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. The humans taught the aliens how to use their environment for tactical advantages, while the aliens introduced advanced combat strategies that emphasized strength and resilience. The soldiers grew more comfortable with one another, and friendships blossomed. They shared meals after training, exchanging stories about their cultures, aspirations, and dreams. As the training progressed, the atmosphere shifted from uncertainty to confidence. Both sides realized that their differences were strengths rather than weaknesses. They became a united front, ready to face any threat that might come their way. One evening, Zarnak and the general watched the troops practicing together, their hearts swelling with pride. "Look how far we have come," Zarnak remarked. "This bond we have formed is truly remarkable." The general replied, "Yes, and it is only the beginning. Together, we will face the unknown with courage and strength." The general interjected, "We invite you to witness the strength of our alliance. We are prepared to demonstrate our capabilities together. Let us show you that we stand united against those who threaten our existence." The captain's demeanor softened slightly, though caution remained. "Very well. We will accept your invitation, but remember, our patience has limits. We will be watching closely." With the initial tension easing, Zarnak and the general exchanged relieved looks. This was the opportunity they had hoped for, a chance to show their strength and commitment to peace. As discussions began, they found common ground, sharing information about their respective military technologies and strategies. The Explorians listened intently, intrigued by the unique approaches of both humans and Yelkins. The atmosphere shifted from suspicion to curiosity. Zarnak saw the possibility of building trust. If they could demonstrate the strength of their alliance, it could dissuade other factions from attempting to challenge them. As the meeting continued, the soldiers remained on high alert. They understood that while the talks were promising, the threat of aggression was always present. Their shared determination to protect their worlds burned bright, forging a path toward a new era of cooperation. With the sun setting behind them, casting a golden hue over the ships, both sides began to realize that they could shape their destinies together. Zarnak felt hope swell within him. The challenges ahead were daunting, but united, they could face any enemy that dared to threaten their alliance.